A lot has been said since before you got in here about your physicality today. I mean, you ran the ball a lot, got over the century mark in the rushing category. Was that an emphasis for you coming into tonight? And is that kind of an emphasis in your game? I would say.
Quite honestly, going into the game, I did not think I was going to run as much as I did. But after the first few drives, talked to Coach Weiss and Coach Gilbert, and they kind of told me that it was just going to be that kind of a game. So, I love that part of the sport, love that part of football. My dad always raised me to be a football player before a quarterback. So, I've just always loved the physicality of it for sure.
What was this week like for you, knowing you weren't going to have Trey, you weren't going to have Caden, you might not have Quinshawn, just knowing that there was going to be, a lot of weapons not there potentially?
Yeah, well, I definitely saw like things on media. It was like, it's going to be a close game or upset alert and stuff like that. And I think that we just kind of challenged our guys just to step up. And we have a lot of really good players. We have a lot of depth, and obviously like Trey's great and all that stuff, and he's done stuff that you can't teach it. He's just one of those type of athletes. But we have a lot of really good receivers that can make some great plays, and it definitely showed at the end of the game tonight.
How excited are you? How prepared do you feel like you guys are to get ready for conference play, specifically Alabama next week?
Yeah, well, this is a game that I feel like our whole team has really been looking forward to, especially with how things ended last game, last time we played them towards the end of the game. Obviously, they're Bama, so you know what to expect from them. And I think just all of us as kids, like we've always grown up and seen them at the top, so we're excited for the challenge.
How much trust and confidence do you have in Jordan Watkins?
Yeah, I think like the perfect example of how much trust I have on him is the game on the line against Mississippi State last year, 4th down. I put the ball up to him. So he's just so reliable, so dependable, comes to work every single day, and I feel like I've said this before, but he's like another coach out there. And obviously he's really talented, and he just has a great feel for the game. So he's definitely a mismatch.
Through 3 games, where do you think the offense is, and what do you think you have to improve on as you get into conference play?
Yeah, I would say, coming into today, a big emphasis was to improve in the run game. I feel like we did that tonight and got a little bit better in that category. But I just feel like we're a really balanced offense. I feel like we can attack people in a lot of different ways. We're just super versatile. But I think at the end of the day, we're still kind of a new team. We have a lot of pieces that are new from transfers and stuff like that. So we're just going to continually get better. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how we progress.
When guys are banged up, specifically on that offensive side, do you feel the sense that you need to step up and maybe as a leader and just on the field, whether it be running for 136 yards or whatever, do you feel the need to step up when those guys are out?
I think just as a quarterback, it's kind of just your job to operate, the system and the scheme that is placed on your shoulders. So I feel like a big improvement of myself from last year to this year is just trying to take what the defense gives me and not just trying to take the big play all the time or stuff like that and kind of put too much pressure on myself, because I feel like that gets you in trouble as a quarterback. So a big emphasis for me, regardless of who's playing, is just to operate the system and get the ball in the playmaker's hands so they can make plays.
I know you said you were raised as a football player before quarterback, but are you ever going to slide, or do you does your game feed off like barreling over defenders?
No, I definitely need to start doing that. My mom tells me every single day on the walk, she actually told me, she's like, "You remember to slide today?" I guess I just forgot, but I remember.
And just through 3 games, what have you kind of learned about yourself and this offense as a whole?
I don't really think I've learned too much about myself. I kind of always known what kind of player that I was, and I just knew the more comfortable that I was going to get in the system, that things were going to just start clicking. So, offensively, I think we're in a good spot, and I think that we're just going to keep continually get better.
Jaxson, you said a little bit ago that you still feel like this team is new. What excites you about the potential, I guess? Because it seems like you're implying maybe it's not all come together quite yet.
Well, I think the biggest point that I'm trying to make is you see how we can make adjustments in the second half and stuff like that. And whereas last year, we weren't really as much of a second half team. But I just feel like coaching wise, player wise, the more the game goes on, I feel like the better that we get. And I think that as the season will go on, we'll start to gain confidence in each other from the first snap to the last snap. And I just think that there's going to be times during this year where we might face some adversity, but I think as things keep going on, we're going to start to find ourselves playing a full, complete game.
With the run game struggling kind of the first 2 weeks, just how good is it to have a game like this where the entire offense runs for nearly 300 yards?
Yeah, it was awesome. Kind of just got back to our identity of being a balanced offense. Coming off of last week, we felt like it was a disappointment of what we did in the run game. And player-wise, we took ownership of that. And, we had a lot of, just player conversations and unit conversations of, we can't let that stuff happen again. And I just thought that this whole week of practice, we just ran the ball a lot better. And I thought the guys were more locked in on that side of things. And, when you practice good, you play good. So, those were the results. Appreciate it.